approach the mic.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Faye Ajayi Dopemu, and I'm an after-school teacher at Edna Brewer in Oakland. And I'm here today. You saw our action. It really offends me. It really hurts me to the core of my heart that, Jody, you would make a comment as if we were wasting people's time in public comment.
No, that wasn't.
It's my moment to speak, so because we're here, this is the community, we have the right to use this time the way we feel is fit. We should be the ones demanding what we want in this space and running this meeting. I don't know why we sit here and ask for 2 minutes of your time, while half of you look at us like you're completely bored. This is our lives here. These are young children's lives that you guys are throwing out to save $2 million that we could have avoided this situation. We have demands here. Let's see. Demand number 3. Wall Street banks use the bailout money to help the OUSD debt. Demand number 2. OUSD stop paying the $7 million that the state added to the OUSD debt during the state takeover. So when you say it's about money, it is about money, but it's about where you guys want to put the money. What your priorities are. Okay? These children are what matter to us. That's what we are thinking about. I work with kids every day, and the majority of people in this room work with kids, have kids, so do you. Okay? We see you as human beings, but you have to see us as human beings too. And these children as human beings. So I don't see that the change is really going to come through you guys because you guys have not shown us that you can give that to us. The change is going to come through us as a community, demanding what we want and taking what we need and just doing this for ourselves because you guys aren't showing us nothing right now. So what I want to say is that us as a community need to come together. I don't care if you guys are asking for a charter school. I don't care. We all want the same things. We need to stand together around this fight, support all the 5 schools, but also support the 25 that are going to come on the chopping block in the next 5 years. Because this fight is not over at all, and this fight also it's bigger than all of just the schools. It's the prisons. It's what happens to our kids when they're out of school, when they drop out. So let's stand together. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I'm Jack Pearson. I'm a retired Oakland teacher, and I work with the Occupy Oakland Education Committee and Occupy the Hood. I was on the OEA bargaining team for 4 years until this past June. In bargaining, we asked for smaller class size. We were told there's no money, bigger class size. Terms of work were imposed on us. We've been without a contract since June of 2008. And those terms include overriding the class size limitations that were in the contract. We asked for adequate pay for teachers. We're the lowest paid in Alameda County. We're paid an average of 20% less than the state average for school districts and the county average. We were told, sorry, no money. On everything we asked for, sorry, no money. Nurses, counselors, the counselor ratio, the student-to-counselor ratio was raised to the point where it's completely unworkable. It's completely dysfunctional. Adult education, which served 25,000 students 2 years ago, was shut down. No money. OEA has a bank campaign to get the money from the banks, to bail out schools and services, not banks, and end foreclosures. Several of us here were arrested at Wells Fargo Bank last May. What has the district done about that? The district turns its pockets inside out and says no money. They've never joined with us. They've never joined to fight that. They've never joined to fight against, to repudiate the state loan. Instead, they say, sorry, no money, we're going to pass along the cuts. So you're the executors of the program of austerity and you're executing public education. This has to stop. We need to take matters into our own hands because clearly you are not going to do it for us and you're not going to do it with us. This school board and this superintendent are destroying public education. Oakland has by far the highest percentage of students in charter schools in the state, of any urban school district in the state. Oakland, we presented information in bargaining, has doubled the per capita ratio of outsourcing to contractors and had doubled the overhead of administrators. You don't want to hear the truth about what you're doing. We need to put an end to this privatization, and this board which just passes along the austerity cuts and the privatization.
Hello, good evening. My name is Josh Healy. I'm a community educator who's worked in public high schools here in Oakland for a bunch of years through different arts and after-school programs, worked at Life Academy, worked at Castlemont, worked at Youth Empowerment before it was closed down last year. I know the student director from there. I know some of you all from different education programs. I'm here because I was here in the fall when you decided to vote down the schools over the protests of many parents, community members, students, and we're here because we're not going away. And I think that's something that needs to be said, is that a lot of times these schools get voted to get closed down and then it disappears. And we forget about that. Yes, the teacher that won the award was from Youth Empowerment School, and that was a community, and that was a community that stood together and that was powerful. And what's happening is these school closures are not just a budget cut, it's a destruction of a community. It's a destruction of a family, and it's destruction of neighborhood, and it's mostly, as been said, 4 majority black schools, 1 majority Latino community, and this is what's happening. And these problems, we know, didn't start here. I saw when the report was talking about how the bank is refusing to accept the early loan, and I saw your head shaking, and you know that that's messed up and unacceptable. But what's happening, what it seems to us as the community, is that the OUSD is acting like a subsidiary of the banks, and you are foreclosing on our schools. And you're acting like a subsidiary, like a branch of Wells Fargo, when you should be a credit union that when we need help, we can go to help and get an extension. And instead, you're acting and foreclosing on our communities and breaking us apart, and people are leaving. And we're asking 2 of you to re-vote and reconsider so we can have a 4-3 vote, keep these 5 schools open, and most importantly, change the direction of our schools here in Oakland.
My name is Christoph. I'm an organizer with Occupy Oakland, and sadly it's not the first time I'm here talking to a bunch of deaf ears who aren't even paying attention, asking them not to close yet another set of Oakland public schools. And as always, everybody here knows that this is about the money. But there's a list of reasons why you've chosen these 5 public schools. You guys think every time you need to save money, you choose the bottom of the pack and you cut it free. Okay? If you follow your strategy, and this is not a new strategy, when the state took over, they did the same thing. Follow this to its logical conclusion. When you cut the last underperforming Oakland school, which will be the last Oakland school, there will be one group of people on the Oakland payroll, the Oakland public school payroll. You. And so the people here who are arguing, save my school, you're forcing them to come before you in this pathetic charade where they beg you to save them, to give them a second chance. They won't be the problem anymore. The problem will be obvious. The problem, the only people left, will be you. And everybody in Oakland will know who screwed up the Oakland public schools. It will be you. And nobody else. You can keep cutting the bottom of the pack till there's nobody left but you and the cops. And then we'll know who to blame. So, the other thing I wanted to tell you is that things are a little bit different in Oakland now. This time it's going to be a little bit different. So, you are being faced with a choice here. You are being asked to take some radical action, to change your strategy, because you don't have a choice. If you don't change your strategy, if you don't join us, if you don't refuse to pay this blood money to the banks and destroy our public school system on their behalf, the community is going to have to take radical action. The community is going to have to rise up and take control.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Aoife Jones, and I represent the NAACP, the new McClimate's Committee, and also CPAC, the Concerned Parents and Community Coalition. I'm asking that the representatives that made the decision, the directors that made the decision to close the schools, that they rescind their vote. We ask that those schools remain open. We ask that no more schools be closed. We ask for transparency in doing your diligence in looking at the schools to close. We ask that the community be involved when making those decisions. I know that you stated that there were community involvement, but not at the schools before the decision was made. After the fact, it was made. I also speak for McClimates. The study courses that they have indicate one AP class. That's unacceptable. They are coming up for review in March for accreditation, and they are expected to be effective communicators. They are expected to have academic achievement, be active learners, be college ready, and empower leaders of the community. With one AP class and 21 course studies, that's going to be hard to achieve when you have requirements that they must have math, they must have English, they're required to have computer training, which there are no computers in the school at this time. So how can they graduate with that course study when they don't have the computers to do the work? I'm just asking that you be more transparent in your diligence and communicating with the community. Thank you.